Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Conrad Gymnasium at Chelmsford High School for tonight's last dual meet for the wrestling team, wrestling against cross-rival Lowell. Captains have just met in the center of the mat, and in wrestling they toss to see who gets to put out first. Each team has to present a wrestler when the weight class is called, and sometimes it comes into some strategy on who to put out. If you have multiple people weighed in, it's just kind of the strategy of wrestling. So this is the 52nd meeting between Lowell and Chelmsford. And between the two teams, they boast 28 state championships. Quite a feat. One of the two top wrestling teams in Massachusetts. Today, in the first bout, it's the 103-pound weight class, or 106-pound weight class, sorry. And that's Chelmsford's Evan Kinney with a takedown. Takedown is worth 2 points in wrestling. Moves on the mat earn points. The match is scored, and then team points are earned through the end of the match. And here we have a pin. Chelmsford starting off the match very nicely with a pin, giving Chelmsford 16 points.
Now wrestling the Lowell at 113 is Andrew Paul versus Chelmsford's Patrick Hughes.
Here we have in the 113-pound weight class Andrew Paul of Lowell and Pat Hughes of Chelmsford. Wrestling starts in what they call a neutral position. Both wrestlers are on their feet. Each wrestler tries to gain the advantage by taking their opponent down to the mat and what they call control, taking control of the wrestler. Here you have a double leg attempt. The defensive move to a shot, we call that a shot, is to sprawl like you just saw. Again, each wrestler just trying to get the advantage of controlling their opponent to the mat. The ultimate goal is to pin, which is to put both shoulder blades on the mat for about 2 seconds. Here we have Pat Hughes with what we call a single leg shot, single leg takedown. There's 2 points. It's right at the edge of the mat, so that there isn't an inbound, so you see the white part of the mat, and you have to remain in bounds. As long as 2 points of the wrestler remain in bounds, whatever happens outside of the boundary, it counts. So that was a 2-point takedown. Each match between weight classes is 3 2-minute periods. Here we have Pat Hughes, what we call an arm bar. So he's going to try to make that arm bar go and turn his opponent to the back. Again, the ultimate goal is to get your opponent on his back. Hughes doing a good job kind of keeping the pressure on. By controlling that arm, it's obviously very difficult for the wrestler to get up. There are also some safeguards in wrestling, especially if you see an arm behind the back. The referee will try to take control so that it's not a dangerous position. Here we have what's called the cradle. Excellent execution of a cradle. You see the referee waving his arms. This is what we call a near fall. So he's earning back points. The longer you keep him there, actually if you keep him there for 3 seconds or more, you get 3 back points. If you only for 2 seconds, you get 1. And every time he goes to his back, you get more back points. Here you might see a pin coming where both shoulder blades are on the mat. And then we have a fall. We call that a fall. Another pin for Chelmsford, making it 12-0. Or 12-0, proper English. Wrestling is a very disciplined sport, very tough sport. Unlike very many other sports, it's just 2 people in the center of a mat. Everybody watching. In team sports, you don't necessarily, you don't see the interaction of individuals necessarily. But in wrestling, it's just man against man or mano against mano. Sometimes women against women, because obviously girls are allowed to wrestle as well. Here we have Lowell's Brett Covello, 120-pound weight class, against Chelmsford's Tony or Anthony Hubbard. Again, each wrestler is just trying to gain control. And that display was out of bounds, so they start over again in the neutral position in the center of the mat. Jumpsuit trying to gain control. He needs to spin behind. There he gets his 2 points for a takedown. Now he'll go to work and try to put his opponent on his back. That's what we call a half Nelson, when you go under the arm and on top of the neck. Again, you want to try to keep him flat. Every time he gets points on the mat, like his knees on the mat, you know, he has a chance to get up. So Jumpsuit's wrestler trying a couple different moves to get him to his back. Here, one of the most effective moves, if you can and get a good half Nelson and just pressure it forward. Here we have a cross face, trying to control that arm. Jumpsuit looks like he's trying to work towards a cradle. Physically demanding sport. This is 3 2-minute periods, and I can tell from experience when I coached, it's an exhausting 6 minutes. Each wrestling match, too, wrestlers are required to continually work towards a fall. The referee's judgment, if he thinks the person on top is not working towards a fall, he can call him for stalling. If you get called for stalling, and that's the end of the first period, Jumpsuit wrestler Hubbard winning by 2-0 on the individual match. If a referee considers stalling to occur, he can warn a wrestler, and after the second warning, can start adding points to the other team's score, other wrestler's score. Here we have Lowell and Jumpsuit now starting on the mat. You have a choice. You can defer to the third period, or you can choose top or bottom. I believe Lowell chose bottom. Choosing bottom allows you to get an escape, which is 1 point, or a reversal for 2 points. And you choose bottom because you feel that you can actually escape and make other things happen. Jumpsuit doing a great job keeping his opponent in this position. Again, working towards a pin. This is what we call an arm bar. Again, you want to try to control what you can on your opponent and work him towards his back. So as you see there, he's got one arm underneath his opponent's elbow, and he's going to apply pressure forward. If he keeps running, that he will get his opponent near his back. Lowell, very tough fight opposition here. He's not allowing much to happen. Actually, the referee just called stalling on red, and that is a warning, and it doesn't mean anything. Here we have Jumpsuit using legs. That's an actual move. He uses his legs in that way, intertwines with his opponent's legs. He wants to throw a crossface or a half Nelson on him, try to get him on his back. You heard the referee warn the red wrestler. And again, if it appears to a referee that each wrestler is not trying to better his position, then he will call for stalling. One of the things, and that's the end of the second period, one of the things in wrestling is there are several ways to score team points. Each match is an individual point system. So right now, Jumpsuit's wrestler is leading 2-0. If the score remains the same, then Jumpsuit will be awarded 3 team points. It's called a regular decision. Any match score between 1 and 7 is a decision. A match score between 8 and 14 points is a major decision, and that's 4 team points. If the point differential between the two wrestlers is 15 or greater, it's called a technical fall, and it's worth 5 points. And then the pins, you saw 2 already. The 2 pins are worth, or the pin is worth 6. So sometimes it's advantageous for a defensive wrestler to stall, not giving any more match points, keeping the team score lower. Okay, we had another warning there for stalling against the green wrestler. You see the armbands on the referee. That's to distinguish the two wrestlers. Similar colors, we have maroon and kind of a dark red. You see Lowell wrestler trying to stand up. If he gets away, if he breaks the grip of the Chelmsford wrestler, that would be considered an escape. The other thing about wrestling too is if you have the advantage of on your opponent, for example, you've lifted him up in the air like you just saw, you have a responsibility to put him back down safely. So if not, it's called a slam, and that you can be awarding your opponent points if you slam him. It's actually illegal. You're supposed to be in control. About 20 seconds left in this match. Chelmsford trying to get his opponent in the back, maybe score some back points. And apparently Lowell just trying not to give up any points if he can help it. And we saw a roll, almost got out of it, almost put Chelmsford at the disadvantage. Chelmsford countering it very well. And that's the end of this match. Chelmsford's Anthony Hubbard winning a score of 2-0, giving Chelmsford 3 more team points. Now the team score is 15-0. Here we have Chelmsford's Jack Stanfield and Lowell's Seth Turner, I believe. This is the 126-pound match. Jack hit what we call a fireman's carry, did a great job with it. 2 points for a takedown because he gained control on his opponent. Jack's now what we have what we call a padlock. Again, just everything you can do to get your opponent on his back. Okay, you see Lowell trying to escape. Jack doing a great job controlling. Jack trying to work out to the side to gain an advantage. Now he's a half Nelson. The half Nelson, if he can force that, put his opponent on his back. Jack's using his feet, his whole body. Now he's caught his opponent. Opponent goes into a bridge. The idea is to get your shoulders off the mat. Jack trying to put the right pressure in the right spots. The Lowell wrestler can get out of bounds, and then the threat is over. Because Jack's feet are still in bounds, whatever happens is still good, even though the Lowell wrestler is out of bounds. Jack's doing a great job squeezing. And there he has Lowell's shoulders on his back for 2 seconds. Jack Stanfield with the pin, making it 21-0. 21-0, sorry.
Now wrestling at 132 for Lowell, Jake Marsh versus Chelmsford, Zach Reynolds.
Here we have Chelmsford Zach Reynolds, 132-pound match against Jake Marsh of Lowell. Starting from the neutral position, each wrestler shakes hands. Hand control is very important. Use your hands to distract, make your opponent move. Again, just looking for an advantage. That's what we call a double leg. Double leg shot, looking for a double leg takedown. If he can get behind his opponent, and he did, that should be 2 points for a takedown. You see him hook the leg. So 2 points. Now Zach's going to work towards a fall. He's going to run the half. He's got an arm bar and a half. It's a classic pinning combination. It's called a half Nelson because it's only one arm. Full Nelsons, which are 2 hands under the armpits and on the neck, are illegal. It's far too dangerous. Zach working his arm bar, trying to work the half. Once he thinks he has it tight enough, he'll just try to get to the side and force it forward. Coach Rich asking him to break him down, and referee stopping the match. That's potentially dangerous, so he didn't like the Lowell wrestler's arm was trapped by Zach Chumps's wrestler, and so they stopped the match for a potentially dangerous situation. When you start on the mat like you saw that, Lowell wrestler in the bottom position, Chumpson on top. Basically, a Lowell wrestler wants to try to just stand up and get away. On occasion, you can reverse, and then reversal's worth 2 points. Escape would be 1 point. Zach now using a leg to help make leverage a little bit better. Lowell countered it with a reversal, and what happened was Zach got a little bit too underneath him with his leg and ended up being reversed, making the match score 2-2. You saw Lowell trying to use double legs. Again, just kind of you want to flatten your opponent first, and then you want to flip him over. Lowell winning or having the choice in this particular match, choosing to go down. Okay. So Lowell chose down. Chumps had just let him up for a 1 point escape. And then Zach quickly going to work with a double leg takedown, which isn't working out very well because he put himself in a tough position. And here the Lowell wrestler has him in a cradle, his back being exposed. The pinning surface is the scapula, and Zach not really sure why he was called for the pin. The referee just pointed out that the scapula is 6 or 8 inches of the back. 130-pound weight class coming up. Chumps with Adriel Muro. And Lowell's, that looks like Clevency Boggle. Team score now is 21 Chumpstrid, 6 Lowell. Here we have Ariel, a lot of movement, trying to distract his opponent. You see a wrestler's grabbing the back of the neck. We call it a collar tie. What you want to do is you want to try to gain a little space. So you might grab the collar, and we do what we call a snap down. Wrestler will try to fight that, and on his way back up, you've created some space. And you maybe take a shot. Also can control an arm. You see Lowell wrestler trying to control an arm. Anything to grab an advantage. Each wrestler just trying for that right spot, and Chumpstrid seeing an opening, shot a single leg. This is a single leg takedown where you go and you grab one leg. Now it's switched to a double. Chumpstrid wants to try to stand up and lift him up off the mat. Once you get a wrestler off the mat, it becomes a little bit lighter, more easily to control. Lowell wrestler, meanwhile, sprawled. He's trying to put his weight on that shoulder so he can't be lifted up. And there, Lowell gains the advantage for a 2-point takedown. Remember, each match is two minutes, or each period of the match is 2 minutes each. It can be a fast 2 minutes, or it can be a slow 2 minutes if you find yourself on the back. Chumps are now working to try to maybe control a hand and stand up and escape before the period or the match ends. Sorry, period ends. 20 seconds left. To jump away, and there's a 1 point for an escape, 13 seconds left. Now the match score is 2-1 Lowell. Chompson will look maybe for that last second takedown. A double leg shot. Lowell doing a great job with the sprawl, and the period ends. Again, 2-1 Lowell. So Lowell had the choice. They deferred to Chompson. Chompson chooses the bottom position. Again, they do this because they feel they can escape or maybe make a reversal. There are specific rules on how to start in that position. If you're on the bottom, you'll see those two white straight lines. Your hands have to be in front of one and your knees behind. The top wrestler needs to start with a hand on an elbow, but not grasping it, just on the outside of it. And the other hand on the belly button. Chompson stands up, and he just now needs to break the grip for an escape. Tries to kind of sit and turn on it. Lowell responding very quickly, maintaining control. Again, each wrestler needs to work for the advantage. So the wrestler on top needs to work towards a back exposure. In this case, he's trying an arm bar. At some point, though, if he doesn't get to the side, if he just remains parallel with the wrestler on the bottom, he will be called for stalling. On the bottom half, Chompson has to keep working towards getting out. He needs to keep trying to break the grip. He needs to move in certain ways. Chompson in a little bit of trouble. Low with the arm bar. Chompson with a great bridge. He has to keep going with that. What a great bridge. That's a lot of neck strength. He has to get out of there. He has to do another bridge. Low with the fall. With that fall, that's 16 points to Lowell, making the score now 21-12. Chompson. 8 more weight classes left.
Now wrestling at 145 for Lowell, Anthony Doobie, and for Chompson, Evan Goodall.
So now we have Chompson's Evan Goodall, 145-pound weight class against Anthony Doobie from Lowell. Evan, a very accomplished wrestler for Chompson. Wastes no time with a single leg takedown attempt. Completed, 2 points for Evan. Evan going to work with what we call a crossface. He's trying to control the opposing arm or opposite arm. Evan just let his opponent go for a 1-point escape. The feeling there is Evan believes he can get another takedown. And each takedown that Evan has, he has a better opportunity perhaps putting his wrestler on his back, his opponent on his back. Evan very aggressive using head snap, looking for actually kind of a high crotch move that we call. It's a variation on a single leg takedown. Lowell trying to sprawl out of it. Evan, though, doing a great job. Gets another 2 points. You see that leg's hooked there. The leg helps maintain control of the opponent. And now Evan just trying with what we call a crossface. You can see him trying to get that arm. Once you get that arm out of the way, you can get him on his back. And a crossface, again, nothing in wrestling is supposed to be overly violent, so you know you can't wind up and take a punch at your opponent. So, and out of bounds, we'll start over. Lowell will be down on the mat. Evan with the advantage. Again, Lowell wrestler needs to be straddling those lines. Lowell wrestler standing right up. Evan countering. We're just picking him up and putting him right back down again. Evan rolling him and exposing his back. You see he has a what we call a padlock. He's locked that opposite arm. He exposed the back for more than 3 seconds, so that's a 3-point match point for Evan. And then we have the second period ends. Sorry, first period. Nope, sorry, it was second period. Here's the third period. With a bit of a small break. It looks like Evan has a bloody nose. So Evan doing a lot of movement, a couple of takedowns, what we call near fall points. Again, he exposed his opponent's back, basically putting the back at less than a 45-degree angle to the mat. Wrestling is a close contact sport, so obviously with and bloody noses happen often. All the precautions are taken. You'll notice Evan will have some gauze in his nose and he'll wipe up any blood that's on the mat. Evan has chosen a down position. Yeah, I think he feels he's going to escape. Lowell, there's two different methods to be on top. Lowell chose the second method, which is just placing both hands on the back. Usually you do that because you want to let the guy go, because you think you can get a better advantage on your opponent, and that is a great move by Evan with another 2-point takedown. Oh no, they waved it off. They were out of bounds. Evan doing a great job gaining some space. This is a single leg. Now he just is going to try to put his opponent down. So gets behind him. He'll get control. There's 2 points. Now he'll go to work to try to get him on his back. And they go out of bounds. Minute 20 left in the match. Currently 10-1 in Evan's favor. This point differential will give Chelmsford a major decision, which is 14 points. Of course, Evan's not going to be satisfied with that. He's going to try to pin his opponent. Here we have an arm bar. He's going to try to run that. Jumped over to a half. And now he's exposed Lowell's back. He's got a pretty tight hold. He's got an arm bar and a half Nelson. He just has to figure out how to get that far shoulder down. He's already been awarded near fall points. Until this hold changes, it'll be held by the referee and awarded later. And here we have a fall. Evan with a great job, a lot of movement, some great moves, and he wins the fall, giving Chelmsford 16 points, making it 27-12. Next up is the 152-pound weight class.
Now wrestling at 152 for Lowell, Brady, Perry,
so we have Lowell's Brady Pear versus Chelmsford's Devin Gavoni. Each wrestler obviously with their own style. Some wrestlers, develop a move or two that they like to use, and they get really good at it. All wrestlers are taught, the various moves that are available to them. Devin moving, trying not to tie up too much. He's working. He wants to work towards one of those legs. See Devin trying to grab a leg. It's a single leg snatch, we'll call it. It's kind of a high crotch move. He'll dip a knee and grab right behind his opponent's knee and try to lift up that leg. Opponent trying the same thing on him. Devin giving up a little bit of height, but there you have a fireman's carry. What a great move. His opponent just rested for a second, and then Devin took advantage. Now going to work. And there's a 1-point escape. 2-1 match score, 40 seconds left. Height advantage to Lowell, kind of helping him with leverage. Devin doing a great job moving around, taking some very good shots. One of the strategies, and it works very well, is to keep your opponent moving. You want to catch him when he's on the backup on the defensive. That's the end of the first period. 2-1 Chelmsford advantage. Lowell has a choice, chooses the top position. Again, this is strategy. Wrestling coaches size up the opponent for their kid, and in this case, they probably think that the Lowell wrestler has the advantage with his height and length, and he's going to try to use the top to his advantage. Plus, scouting, Lowell Chelmsford see each other in various tournaments throughout the year, and you kind of get a sense for how each wrestler's style. And Devin did a great job. He actually got up, escaped, making it 3-1. Now you're going to see Devin try to do some movement, try to get a good shot. Devin likes to go to the right leg of his opponent. Opponent trying an ankle pick. What he does is he has what we call a collar tie, pulls down Devin's head, tries to grab his ankle. Just like that. Devin doing a great job sprawling, which is the defensive move to that. Devin again taking a lot of good shots here. On his next sprawl, though, he's going to want to try to spin behind and gain the advantage and get the takedown. 50 seconds left in the second period. Devin very, very aggressive. Now getting behind him, getting control. 2 points out of bounds. Out of bounds stops the clock, of course. Devin winning the match 5-1. Said earlier today, too, that it's a 2-minute periods, 3 periods for a match. Very exhausting. It might not seem like that long of a time, but it's an anaerobic activity. You're using strength and leverage, and trying to fight your opponent's weight, and you do spend a lot of energy. Okay. Even though both wrestlers were the feet, Devin maintained control. Therefore, he still maintains the advantage. 5-1 Devin. You can start on either side of your opponent. Okay, that was a false start actually, so the Lowell wrestler's been cautioned. If it happens again, it'll be a point for Chelmsford. About 12 seconds left in the second period. Again, Devin just trying to work his opponent to his back. And that's the end of the second period. So Chelmsford 5, Lowell 1 in the match. Chelmsford has chosen neutral. The strategy behind this is Devin has taken his opponent down 2 times so far in the match, and I think Coach Rich feels that he'll do it again. Again, the more points you can score on your opponent in the match, the higher the team score will be. Currently, this is only a 4-point differential, so that's just a regular decision and would earn Chelmsford 3 team points. Chelmsford now, all Devin has to do is not be taken down to his back. He just needs to be cautious. He still needs to be aggressive. He still needs to work towards a takedown. Lowell there on the takedown, 2 points. Now the score is 5-3. Devin now needs to move. He'll want to escape this. He'll have to get that hand back. And Devin with the escape, making it 6-3. Devin doing a good job. He needs to take a good shot if he wants to earn a takedown. Devin sprawling. Lowell controlling his leg. What you want to do is you want to kick and pull and try to get free. After that, both wrestlers ended up out of bounds. No control. 6-3 Chelmsford. Lowell taking a shot right off the start. Devin just sprawling quickly back. 30 seconds left. Devin will win the match as long as he doesn't give up a takedown to his back. Devin with a great shot. He needs to get up off his knees. There he goes. And he gets control. 2-point takedown, making it 8-3. 12 seconds left. At this point, Devin just needs to hold on. 5 seconds. Lowell with a great roll, but too late. Period ends. Devin wins the match 8-3, earns 3 team points for Chelmsford, making the score 30-12.
Andrew versus Chelmsford.
Here we have the 160-pound match. Matt Kilmartin from Chelmsford, Andrew Diamantopoulos from Lowell. 160-pound match. 5 weight classes to go after this. All matches start in the neutral position in the first period. Lowell with a shot. Matt Kilmartin with the sprawl, out of bounds. Again, you'll see wrestlers in what we call a collar tie, so hands on the back of the neck. Everything to try to get an advantage. Here you had a head tap. Kilmartin with a single leg shot. He just needs to kind of work in and up and try to get Lowell up off his feet. Lowell with a sprawl, getting behind him with his leg. Once he hooks that leg, that's considered control. He gets 2 points for the takedown. Some wrestlers like to use their legs. You see Diamantopoulos using his legs. Again, that can be an advantage. You keep your opponent flat, and it's easier to turn him to his back. Here, Coach Rich asking Kilmartin to get up, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to remain flat. You want to get on your base. You want to get on your knees and your hands, and you want to work yourself up to your feet. Kilmartin trying not to give up his arms with that. That's what we call an arm bar. You have a double arm bar. Lowell will try to run that. Now with a half Nelson. The legs play a part because now they help turn him over. Although his back was exposed, it was only for a 1 count. So that is not back points. Lowell winning 2-0 on the match. And that's in the first period. Again, Lowell 2, Chelmsford 0 in this match. It's Chelmsford's choice. He defers. Lowell now chooses. Lowell chooses the neutral position. Again, Lowell believes they can take down Chelmsford and earn 2 more points. Each wrestler working the head, working the shoulders, trying to make space, trying to distract the opponent, trying to expose the legs. Lowell with a shot. Chelmsford sprawling. Chelmsford wants to try to control and spin behind. When the wrestler shoots, the only real defense you have is to do what we call a sprawl, which is got to jump back, get your legs out of the way, put some weight on your opponent, try to work behind him. Okay, the referee felt that Chelmsford is not trying to move forward, trying to be aggressive, and so he got warned for stalling. Here we have a great double leg shot. He just needs to finish on top with his feet in bounds. Lowell doing a great job sprawling. Keeping his feet in bounds, Lowell's Diamatopoulos earns a 2-point takedown. About 47 seconds left in this second period. Lowell going right to the legs. So that legs gives him an advantage, makes it more difficult for the Chelmsford wrestler to get up off the mat. In addition to the legs, you'll see either a half Nelson or an arm bar, and the Lowell wrestler will use that to get the Chelmsford wrestler on his back. Lowell wins by fall. Team score now becomes 30-18. Okay, that's what we call a good arm bar right there. You saw what Lowell did right before he got Kilmartin on his back. Okay, now we have the 170-pound weight class. Joe Vecchione, two-time state champion, two-time captain for Chelmsford. Senior wrestling, Adrian Cintrone. Each wrestler checks into the head table, make sure that the official score is correct and who's wrestling. Joe wasting no time, puts his opponent in the cradle right to his back. Using his legs, trying to kick out that support, putting all his weight. Again, you want two scapular on the mat for 2 seconds. That's what we call a cradle there. So there's 2 points for a takedown. He's still in the same position, so he hasn't been awarded back points yet. But he's going to try to work this right to a pin. Now that Lowell broke that grip, it's three back points, so it's 5-0. Joe on the match. Using a crossface, he exposed Lowell's back for less than 2 count. Now he's got him on his back, again exposed. You see the referee counting. Once he gets to 3, that's 3 back points. Joe now has a head and arm, what we call a head and arm. And he's just going to try to put the right amount of pressure and get both shoulders on the mat. Lowell doing an excellent job keeping his shoulders off the mat with the bridge. 3 near fall, making the score 8-0. Joe very active on top, just trying various moves to get his opponent on his back. See him sneak his leg in there, so now he has his opponent trapped. So that ends the first period with 2 near fall points. The match score is now 10-0. Lowell chooses the down position. If Joe gets to a 15-point differential, the match is over. It's considered a technical fall. Here you are. He just ran him over and pinned him. Joe Vecchione, two-time state champion, with a win by fall, upping Chumpstead's score to 36. Lowell at 18. 4 matches left.
Now wrestling for Lowell at 182, Brian Turr versus Chelmsford, Aiden Ahern.
Here we have the 182-pound match. Aiden Ahern from Chelmsford, Brian Turr from Lowell. Aiden going right on the offensive, using his hands, trying to disrupt the Lowell wrestler. You see him on the collar. All that movement is trying to make an opening for him to take a shot. Here, trying an arm drag. Again, basically trying to expose his opponent's legs. Aiden has a little bit of a height advantage, and that may come in handy for his advantage. Aiden with a nice single leg shot, catches his opponent. 2 points for a takedown. Aiden being very aggressive, trying to move his opponent to his back. Dragging him back onto the mat. Aiden quickly goes to a crossface. Another thing about wrestling, you can't grab less than 4 fingers of your opponent, because obviously it's dangerous. You grab 1 or 2 fingers, you can break them. So Lowell wrestler trying to work Aiden's hands during that last flurry. Lowell earning neutral, 1 point for escape. Match score is now 2-1, about 20 seconds left in the first period. Aiden Ahern doing a great job being very aggressive. Not giving much of a break to his opponent. He keeps trying to work to his advantage, trying to expose his opponent's legs. Here's the end of the first period. Match score, Chelmsford 2, Lowell 1. Chelmsford's choice. Chelmsford defers to the Lowell wrestler, and he picks down. Again, this strategy, you think, you pick a position where you think you can gain an advantage. In this case, Lowell thinks they can escape. Lowell wrestler goes right to his feet. Aiden trying to control him. As long as he maintains a grip, he'll maintain being in control. Aiden working towards a cradle. He's trying to get leg and head close to each other so he can grab his own hands, using his head as a lever. Lowell wrestler doing a great job not giving that up. Aiden trying for what we call a power half. Aiden doing a great job, gets his opponent to his back. The exposed back is giving up back points. Aiden just needs to get a little weight on there, lift up the head. Lowell with a great bridge. Situation being over, Aiden is awarded 3 back points, now making the match score 5-1. Aiden using again the power half where he supports the half Nelson with his other hand. Lowell gets out of it, 1 point escape, making 5-2. Match score 5-2. About 40 seconds left in the second period. Aiden again trying to gain an advantage. Here both sides shouting out instructions. sometimes when you're in the middle of the match, it's hard to see maybe what's available to you. But the coaches will shout out different moves to hit because they see something from where they're sitting. About 6 seconds left in this period. Aiden still with the advantage, leading the match 5-2. Chelmsford's choice. Chelmsford is going to choose neutral. Coach Rich feels that Aiden will have a good shot at taking the Lowell wrestler down. And again, every time you take a wrestler down, that initial flurry gives you a great chance for a pin. Here we have Aiden with a great ankle pick right to a cradle. Cradles are tough to get out of. If you can get him on his back, which he's did, this is tough to get out of. And I think you're going to see a fall here. And there you do. Aiden with a great job. Obviously, the strategy to take the neutral position worked out well. Aiden with the fall, giving a Chelmsford 42-18 lead with 3 matches left. Chelmsford mathematically, if my math is correct, has secured the victory. With 3 matches left, the total team points available are 18. Lowell with only 18, so Chelmsford doing a great job tonight. Here we have Chelmsford's Jack Flaherty, a 195-pound match against Hector Batista. As we go up in weight, you'll see different styles. A lighter wrestler will do a lot of movement, a lot of shots on the leg. Bigger wrestlers like to do things like what we call head and arm, where you flip someone over your hip and throw them to the mat. Here you have what we call a little knee dip. Knee dip, you snatch the leg. Flaherty with a great job gaining the advantage with a 2-point takedown. Now he's just going to try to run his half Nelson. And he gets him over. Now he's getting back points. Just needs to squeeze that shoulder down, sink the half Nelson deeper. Notice he's lifting the head. This will be tough for Lowell to get out of if he can get him on his back. Lowell trying to snake that hand out. If Jack can control that. And we have a fall. Chelmsford's Jack Flaherty with a fall, making the score 48-18. Two matches left, 220-pound and what we call heavyweight at 285.
Now wrestling at 220 for Lowell, Aaron Diaz.
All right, we have Aaron Diaz, 220-pound match from Lowell against Chelmsford's Brendan Cochran. I said earlier, Chelmsford and Lowell have met 52 times. It's one of the longest rivals in wrestling. Both coaches, probably too hard to count how many years together they have in the sport. Here we have the Lowell Diaz looking for what we call an over-under. Brendan from Chelmsford trying to control the collar. He'll be looking to snap that down maybe, grab a leg. Again, each wrestler has his own style, has his own favorite moves. Here Brendan's trying again an over-under. Going out of bounds, both wrestlers brought bound to the center. That's called what we call a shoulder strike. Try to just get that hand off your collar. Lowell trying to snap down. Brendan with a shot. Lowell with a sprawl. Brendan doing a great job getting to his feet and trying to drive that in. About 7 seconds left in this first period. .2 seconds left. Someone will be called for someone will be warned for stalling probably if this keeps up. It's the expectation that both wrestlers circle and not back straight up. Chelmsford chooses down. Strategy here is not very many points going to be scored perhaps, so if Chelmsford can escape, then he gets the first points of the match. Brendan trying to get that leg. He's going to try to step over that. Lowell trying not to let that happen. Lowell trying to work for an arm bar. Brendan Cochran from Chelmsford trying to break that grip. And he does. Now he wants to try to work up to his base. And then eventually he's going to want to try to either roll the Lowell wrestle over him or stand up. There he has potential for a stand-up and or a reversal. He's got a single leg now. Brendan just needs to snap that down and put his opponent on his back. And he at least gets the escape for 1 point. Chelmsford leads the match 1-0 with 50 seconds left in the second period. .20 seconds left. Both wrestlers not sure kind of what to do. Just trying to look for some sort of advantage, some sort of opening. And that's the end of the second period. Match score 1-0 Chelmsford. Lowell chooses the down position. Again, the strategy here is to get an escape. He at least ties the match. The goal would be get an escape and then a takedown. Chelmsford wants to keep his opponent down and in fact flip him over and work for that pin. And Lowell gets what they were looking for. This is a reversal right to the back. And Lowell gets the fall. Team scores now 48-24 with that 6-point. All right, last match of the day. Jake Ferrer, Chelmsford, 285-pound weight class versus Tom Radzik from Lowell. Chelmsford leading 48-24. Here we have generally heavyweight wrestling. You're going to just see a couple different things. What you saw there was a single leg grab. Jake gets the advantage, gets 2 points for a takedown. Now he's got control of one of his arms. He's going to try to force his opponent on his back. He's going to probably try for a half Nelson or an arm bar. He's using he's using a power half Nelson. Now he's going to work towards the back. He doesn't want to get too far in front, give his opponent a chance to escape. Jake very aggressive. Each wrestler trying to gain some sort of control. Jake wants to control his opponent's arms. He wants to get a half Nelson in there. And the Lowell wrestler, Radzik, wants to control Jake's hands so that he can't get the half Nelson in. Jake sinks the half Nelson, gets his opponent to his back, put a little weight in the right spot, and we have a fall. Chelmsford's Jake Ferrer with the fall. 16 points. Final score is going to be 54-24. Chelmsford finishing the season with MVC champs with a 21-3 dual meet record. On Saturday, all wrestling teams will enter the divisional tournaments. Chelmsford, the Division I North Section tournament. I believe it's 12 teams. Each wrestler enters the meet. The top 4 will qualify for the state meet the following week. Congratulations to both teams. Congratulations to both teams. They did a great job. Sportsmanship on the mat was terrific. Chelmsford coming across victorious, and hopefully that'll carry over to their sectional and state tournaments coming up. Well, that's all we have for you from the Conrad Gymnasium. Congratulations again. Good luck in the rest of the way, and we'll see you the next time we broadcast an event. Good night, folks.